Right, yesterday we looked at putter fitting. Today we're looking at iron fitting. So the first thing we're doing in iron fitting is we're doing an interview process, and this is to find out about your game in terms of what shots you currently hit, shot shape, trajectories, where your misses are, what your miss hits are, and from that we can start building up a picture of what you require. I would also ask you what you want to achieve from your current set of clubs, whether it's more distance, more accuracy, general consistency, those sorts of things. So from that point there, we would then get you to hit some shots, get some data using using this beauty here. So my TrackMan gives me lots of information about what's happening in terms of launch, spin rates, height, shot shape, consistency. So that's a real powerful tool in club fitting. So from there we would then do what's called a static fitting review, so measuring your height and your wrist to floor measurement to see what the recommended length and lie angle is for you. Throughout the fitting we'd be testing that as well with what's called dynamic fitting, which is tape on the sole of the club and the face to see that we get to the centre strike and a centred impact on the ground. Because if we're impacting it in this manner here with the toe impacting the ground first, the face would open up, we can miss it right. If we impacted it with the heel on the ground first, the toe could close down and we could miss it to the left. So getting the right lie angle and length is really important for consistency. So once we got some information on your clubs, we would then go through the fitting process, and depending on the shots that you're hitting and what I'm seeing, we'd then start looking at what we need, whether we need to get the ball up in the air more, or we want something a bit more penetrating, and then we'd start thinking about heads from there and shafts to match into it as well to get the desired flight. So I've got 3 examples of clubs here. These are all from the Callaway Maverick range. So they're middle of the road one, or their standard one, let's say, just a standard Maverick. This is actually their longest club. The more forgiving one is what's called a Max. It's an oversized head. It's got a lot wider sole. That's designed to elevate the ball more. Not as much strong in loft as the standard Maverick. Then we have what's called a Pro, a lot slimmer in the sole and the general profile of the club. This is designed for a bit more workability, a more penetrating shot. So all of these clubs will do different things within the same family. And it's just getting the right one to fit you. I wouldn't necessarily say these are massively aimed to any range of handicap, because I would look to fit the right head for the player, as long as it's working well for them and getting the right shots for them. So within that fitting process, let's say we'd look to find the right head. We'd also be looking at shafts as well, and we've talked about kick points in shafts before, and weight and how that's going to help you. So throughout that whole process we'll be trying to make sure we get the correct shaft. We'll then test that against my other manufacturers that I've got as well, so Titleist, Ping, and TaylorMade as well. So and the whole range of clubs, and each brand has the same sort of model as what I showed you in that Maverick in terms of let's say a more penetrating or class as a better players club moving up to a more forgiving club. See, the beauty of the fitting process is I've got hundreds and hundreds of shafts in my studio which I can put into different heads. So this head with TaylorMade, for example, see it's got 3 degrees upright or standard. I can simply put it into the correct shaft fitting in the head, twist it on, and then what that means is that you can hit this club, we can get the information on it, swap the shafts over and see if we're making any improvements. with a different shaft, with different weight of shaft, kick points and shaft. So the whole fitting process is quite comprehensive. It takes an hour to an hour and a half to do, but it's a vital ingredient to playing golf well and consistent. Making sure your equipment is the best for you is extremely important. So if you want any further information on that, you can obviously email me at the moment, but when we get into a scenario where we can get back to golf, there will be procedures in place. I'm currently thinking through at the moment of how we could do a fitting for you in my studio which is safe and won't put anyone in danger. So as I say, if you're interested in something like that and you want some further questions answered, just email me and we can talk it through at the moment, because one thing we've got at the moment is time, and if you want to educate yourself more on certain things, just let me know. I hope that's been helpful, and have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.